I'm Dave Gray, and this week I learned that it's not what's inside or outside that matters, it's how society views you.
I am Tyler Bosley, and special PSA. Drivers truly don't care, and you're not even safe sitting at a fucking stoplight. So, yeah, just saying, special PSA, be careful out there. Drivers are awful.
They are, man. That's why I love my car. You ever seen those
Yeah,
rat fink illustrations with the big rat guy with the tongue hanging out and it's always a
I
hot rod?
have.
Yeah, that's me every time. It doesn't matter what I'm fucking driving. Rat fink.
Hi, I'm Craig, film enjoyer living in England, and we're recording on a Wednesday. Was Wednesday our original recording day?
It
was.
was many years
Yes, we
ago.
did. And then I was so unreliable and needed an extra day so many times. They were like, okay, let's just do it on Thursday. And then
Yep.
we moved to Thursday, and I was unreliable again. So for so many times, I needed to go on Friday that it moved to Friday. So
Yep.
yeah, just massively unreliable. So yeah, old school Wednesday recording. Yay!
Yay.
And welcome to Raiders of the Podcast.
Yay!
Woo! Yay! I watched. I had a couple of really quite heavy viewings this weekend. This one was recommended. Stephanie had found out about it online, and she went, "I'm not going to like this film, but I figure it's your sort of thing, so I'll watch it with you," which is very kind of her. So we watched the, I assume, controversial 2025 chamber drama Blue film. Yeah, that was a challenging watch. It's essentially like a two-hander. This gay cam performer, he kind of signs up for a long dark night of the soul where he accepts a client's offer of like 50 grand to stay the night, and things unfold. And it's it's definitely like highly indebted to Mysterious Skin. That's why Stephanie picked it. She said, "Oh, people said it's like Mysterious Skin." So even though I will never watch that film again, I thought you'd like this, which is lovely of her. So yeah, it's very indebted to Mysterious Skin, like in content, in tone, even in the aesthetic. The aesthetic's very similar. It's brilliantly performed. The only two actors, Reed Brittany and Kieran Moore, and they are fantastic. It looks beautiful. The whole thing like bristles with tension throughout. It's incredibly tense, and it just has this. It has a haunting fucking atmosphere to it. It really, really quite just dark and haunting, and it leaves you with like plenty to chew on once the credits roll. You might not want to chew on this film after the credits roll or its themes because they might not taste too good, but I cannot in good conscience I would not recommend it to anyone. Like you will hear things you never want to hear in this film, and you will see things you never want to see. But I found it really interesting. I found it interesting, and as I said, like it's a challenging watch given the subject matter, and just very well put together as well. Very and extraordinarily well acted, especially Kieran Moore, who is. I had no idea until I looked after. He's a British actor. He's been in Emmerdale Farm and absolutely crushes it in this. Has anyone seen Blue Film?
I have not.
No, somebody recommended it to me once, but they compared it to God, what was the Spanish movie about the singer and the dude tries to make him into his wife. We covered it on here. Clairville,
Not
Carnival.
sure.
Oh,
Yeah, I know the one you mean.
Yeah,
The Belgian
yeah.
one.
Yeah, the
yeah,
Belgian one.
Yeah,
Calvert.
Calvert, yes.
Calvert,
Somebody
yeah.
said it was like Calvert, and I went, man, I love Calvert. I cannot watch that again. So I didn't. It's in the pile still. I just,
much closer to Mysterious Skin than
okay.
Calvert.
But I say the same thing. I've seen Mysterious Skin, and I can't. So it's going to stay where it is in the pile.
That's fair enough. After that, my wife decided she'd pick one for her, and it's one she'd wanted to watch for a little while now. So she doubled down, and we went with a first-time watch for both of us of the 1971 psychological drama Wake in Fright. And yeah, that was pretty fucking incredible. Like, there is a level of animal cruelty in this film that a lot of people will find completely inexcusable, and they will not watch this, and I completely understand it. And I don't know whether I would have watched it had I been more aware of what I was going to see. But if you put that to one side for a moment, it's a fucking brutal, brutal film, like a brutal, really unforgiving look at the veneer of civility and how quickly people will abandon it due to their circumstances or just geography. You know, it's probably the best film about human savagery I've ever seen. Like, cast are great. Gary Bond is a really, really good lead. I've not seen him in anything before, but he's fantastic. But Donald Pleasance, man, totally steals this film. Absolutely fucking unhinged performance from Donald Pleasance. Anytime I see him in anything outside the Bond films and Halloween films, when he pops up unexpectedly, Donald Pleasance just always blows me away. He's just a fucking phenomenal actor. The cinematography is super fucking effective. Like it's set in Australia and it is hot and it fucking radiates off the screen. It pulsates off the screen of fucking heat. The pacing is fucking perfect. You know, it's like just turning the screws, man. Just doing it at the perfect pace. The editing is superb. It's just a fucking gem of a movie. It is absolutely fantastic. The only issue, obviously, is the animal cruelty. The director, I can't remember his name, goddammit. He did First Blood as well. Ted Hochak?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kochef?
Kochef, that's
Yeah.
the one. He basically accompanied a group of Australian hunters to film the activity they do anyway every Saturday. Every Saturday night they get drunk and they just shoot kangaroos. So they didn't do this for the film. He went with them and he recorded it and he put it on film, and it is fucking horrendous. But also it's, you know, he captured something there. He captured just how fucking savage people can be, and it's horrendous. I think that's why, you know, as great as Waking Fright is, it's probably going to be a one-time watch for anybody who watches it. It is, whoa, it is rough. Anyone seen Waking Fright?
I have. Well, you know what happened to it, right?
No.
It was considered lost for like 30, 40 years.
Oh, really?
There was only one known print forever. I'm trying to remember what it was. I think it was in Dublin or Belfast. It was Ireland. And it was just supposed to be like the worst quality, so they couldn't transfer it to VHS or DVD or anything. They just occasionally made copies just to make sure that something survived.
Oh, okay.
So the editor, Anthony Buckley, started to look for it himself in like the mid 90s, and he spent a decade until he randomly found it in Pittsburgh, I think.
Yeah.
And it just happened to be like so he started working on a restoration, but that wasn't quite good enough. So he kept looking, and he found a near pristine condition print just pushed into the back of the Library of Congress.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That must have been a moment finding that.
Although it was an edited version, so they had to compile them together. Yeah. So Waking Fright was
Yeah.
almost totally lost. Yeah, I don't think it's been released. It's only been released twice in our lifetimes. One in like 2010, and then there was a 4K like a year or two ago. So yeah, I've seen Wake and Fright. After that, I was like, oh, I've got to fucking watch that now.
Yeah. It's a really, I'm glad it survived. As much as people will find elements of it just too distressing and, you know, horrific. It's really unique. It's a unique piece of art that needs to be seen just once if you can handle, you know, the animal cruelty.
Well, apparently on
carry on.
set it got the hunters got so bad that the crew had to cause a power outage to stop it.
Ugh. Awful
But
people.
yeah, it is jarring and it will scar you for life. But it is worth watching. I agree.
Yeah. I went the other way with my next film. I thought, how about some, animal cruelty to people? So I watched, here we go, Kia Roche Turner's 2025 survival thriller Beast of War. I avoided this for ages. I've seen the poster, but, I got kind of sick of trying to find that one good shark movie in 1,000. But then when I saw like Roche Turner's name attached to it, I thought, okay, he makes good B movies. This could be solid. And yeah, I was right about that. It's pretty great. It's brief synopsis: a bunch of like Australian World War II soldiers are stranded in the ocean after their ship sinks, and there is a big shark, and that's it really. Uh, got a great cast. They all have fantastic chemistry, which is something you need for what's essentially like a little bit of a military drama as well. It's got an absolutely killer fucking practical animatronic shark. Like no CGI here, just a huge, great animatronic beast which looks fantastic. Plenty of blood, plenty of death and tension and nastiness, and it looks fucking fantastic. Like it's got this gorgeous color palette. Color palette. It's all like the blues of the sky and the sea, and the oranges of the various fires in the background. It looks absolutely gorgeous. Like Rose Turner, he knows how to make $1 do the job of $10. That guy is a bit of a miracle worker. So I really, really like that. It leans on the slow motion button a little too often. Like it gets a little irritating, but that's my like lone issue with it. It is a blast. It is, I would say it is the shark movie of the last, of the 2020s and 2010s. It really is very good, and you guys would enjoy it. Unless you have already, Beast of War.
I have
That's
not.
another one in my pile because I was getting ready for Turkey Day last year, and somebody said I won't tell you the worst movie I saw, but Beast of War is excellent. I went, oh well, it's a shark movie. Fuck yeah! So I'll get to it. And
Yeah,
I'll probably
it's a
drag you
rare
guys
good
with me.
shark movie, and the shark movie element isn't it's obviously essential to it, but there's lots of like good human drama in it too. It's well worth watching. And one more, I watched Sam Raimi's 2026 survival thriller Send Help, and that was a bust. That was a big waste of time. That was not good. Like Rachel McAdams and my boy, mine and Tyler's boy, Dylan O'Brien, excellent, and they always are, but they're fucking excellent. They are really trying their hardest to make this thing work, but everything else, and I mean every other element of this film, is weak shit. I was really surprised and kind of crushed by it. Like the dynamic between McAdams and O'Brien just is not interesting enough for an hour and 50 minutes. It doesn't come close to carrying the film. The pacing is slow, the structure is really awkward, and all the Raimiisms, all those little moments of Raimi madness that you figure you would enjoy, they're all CGI. They're all marred by CGI, and the whole thing is just no fun at all. It's a shame. Like the first half is really promising. Like it looks like you're in for a good time, but within half an hour, it is all out of ideas, and there are still 90 minutes to go, and it's just a fucking drag. It's a drag. It's a disappointing film, and it's just disappointing to see McAdams and O'Brien kind of wasted on just ill-considered kind of shit's too hard, but crap isn't too hard. So ill-considered crap. Real shame that one. I was disappointed, but McAdams and Dylan O'Brien, who I've grown to love enormously since Ponyboy, are really good, but still don't watch it.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's me for the week.
So I haven't been watching much, but I did watch Dutton Ranch, which is the Beth and Rip Yellowstone spinoff. It's really good. Beth and Rip were two of my favorite characters on that show, so it really works for me. But the whole thing will fall on the shoulders of how much you like the Yellowstone shows. So that's where it's go. But I'm a big fan of Yellowstone, and I love most of Taylor Sheridan's stuff. So it works for me, and it's pretty fucking dark too. Like there's some dark shit in this series. Like way darker than Yellowstone got, which is crazy. But yeah, it's really good. It's really, really good. Kelly Riley is she's magnificent. I love her in this. But yeah, besides that, I haven't really watched much, to be totally honest, guys. Like I really haven't had the time recently, so I just kind of been watching like random seasons of Ink Master because I love that show. It's like a comfort show. But yeah, that's me.
Kelly Riley is so good and has been underused for a while. So I don't
Yes.
think I'm going to watch these programs because I don't think they're going to be for me, and I don't like Taylor Sheridan's writing. But
They aren't for you. You will not enjoy them.
yeah, but I loved her in. I loved her in Tyler, which you also loved. True
What?
Detective season 2.
Yes, True Detective season 2 is my favorite True Detective season. It's so good.
The massively underappreciated season 2 of True Detective, and she's great in it.
The best cast too. That fucking cast was just chef's kiss.
Yeah,
Perfect. Vince
I
Vaughn,
agree.
everybody.
Yeah,
Even
people shit on that one way too much.
even what's his name? Shit, what the hell's his name?
Taylor
Gambit.
Kitsch.
Taylor Kitsch was really fucking good in that, and that's a shock. So
Definitely unexpected, but obviously, Colin Farrell.
Colin
That
Farrell
Is
Vince
always
Vaughn.
expected.
Yeah, you just know he's going to bring it no matter what he's in. He's turned into a really interesting actor, and I think having just kind of like having a few failures in it under his belt really just turned him into a more interesting actor, I think.
I let Killa drive the bus this week, and one won't be shocking, but the other one might surprise you a little. We finally got to see Supergirl, which I like Millie Alcock. I like her as Kara Zor-El. I did not like this movie. This movie was really pretty fucking not good. I think the cast mostly tries, but it suffers from an absolutely atrocious script. Like an absolutely atrocious script. It's poorly made. Like, there's some nice production design, and I will give the production designer as much like props as I can. But it is such a bad fucking screenplay, and it is so poorly, like, the action is poorly directed, it's poorly choreographed, it's poorly shot, it's poorly lit. Like, everything that falls on the writer and the director is just kind of ass. In the kind of worst way, where it's like they're not even fucking trying. They're not doing a quarter of the effort they should. Uh, this is $186 million movie, give or take. Like, at least pretend you give a fuck about your job. Like, I get it. It was a Craig Gillespie movie. And as I will say every time I get a fucking chance, Craig Gillespie is a fucking blight on cinema and has never made anything worth watching. And I will give you the caveat of I, Tonya, but that is solely because of the two lead performances. And I think they would have given those performances no matter who was behind the fucking camera. So he can go fuck off. It's just not good. And it's a shame because it does waste Alcock, and it wastes David Krumholtz. Pops up as her dad, and he carries it speaking a fake language. Emily Beecham does like hard work. Again, not speaking English, but speaking, fucking Kryptonian. David Cornsweet, I like his Superman. His bits are great. Jason Momoa is Jason Momoa fucking sucks. I like Lobo, the comic character, and he's fucking terrible. I mean, he kind of looks like him, yeah, but he doesn't have the presence. He doesn't have the charm or the danger that Lobo should have. He looks like a drunk frat boy dressed as Lobo at a shitty party, and that's how he plays it. And it's a fail. And at the end of the day, I liked the comic that this is based on. I did not. The movie just doesn't get it. It drops the ball repeatedly, especially towards the end. But Crim of the Yellow Hills is a bad villain, and the way they portray him in this is atrocious. Like, it is just one of the laziest, desperate to tie into the last film release they could have done, and it's a bad misstep. But you know what? I don't care, because I saw Lex Luthor in fucking power armor online yesterday. So, they've already got me for the next fucking Superman movie, no matter what they do. I'm a fucking sucker. I'll fucking admit that. That fucking green power armor, God, it gives me chills.
Anytime someone like hires Jason Momoa for something, I always think, why didn't you hire Kevin Durand?
Yeah, that's a Durand would have been so much better.
He can actually do menace, you know, and he's a big guy, and he's just
And he can do comedy
and he's
too.
funny. Yeah.
Yeah. God, that would have been so much. Like I was sitting in the theater thinking, so many people would have been better, and but I didn't think of Durand, and Durand would have been fucking perfect. That is such a miss.
You know, Momoa actually saved the last Fast and Furious movie though from being a complete, just unwatchable mess. Like he was probably the best thing about that movie, just because he was so flamboyant and just over the top in it. Just yeah.
I will never see that movie, so I will take your word for it. Do you guys want to guess what the other movie Killa picked was? I will give you a hint.
Salo.
Hold on, I will give you a hint.
Huh.
It is a very gay comedy based on a French movie.
The Birdcage.
Yes.
Nice.
She picked the Birdcage and laughed uproariously during it, which was really weird. I don't get how she understood half those jokes, or if she just enjoyed other people looking like they were enjoying themselves. So, I guess we haven't totally failed her. Yeah, it's the Birdcage. You either like the Birdcage or you love the Birdcage, and it's good. I had to explain, conservatism and bigotry to her, which was kind of, uncomfortable. But somebody had to do it someday.
When I say that the Birdcage stars one of America's greatest ever comic actors, people would assume that I'm talking about Robin Williams, but I'm not. I'm talking about Nathan Lane.
Yeah, no, Nathan Lane. Yeah.
Because Nathan Lane is just fucking wonderful.
Yep.
Not that I don't like Robin Williams. I love Robin Williams, but I think Nathan Lane is just god tier.
I mean, to be fair, it does have a really stacked cast.
Yeah, Gene Hackman too.
Hackman, Diane Weiss, Christine Baranski, Hank Azaria before he just stopped caring and made everything into a Simpsons character. There's a strong cast here, and it's based on a really good original. La Cage aux Folles, both the original play and the film they're fun. This was a movie that, like, folks love to go, oh, they'd never make that movie today. And the thing is, usually that just means, you think they wouldn't be racist and sexist in a movie. And then they make movies and prove you wrong. This is a movie they wouldn't make today because we're so scared of offending jackasses. Apparently, the director, Mike Nichols, wanted... Now, I think Nathan Lane is perfect, but his original plan was for Steve Martin to be in that role, and that would have been pretty good too.
Oh, well, I love Steve Martin.
Yeah, he didn't think he could be camp enough. So, which, I mean, fair to him. I don't think he could either.
Nathan Lane can. But there are no depths of campness that he can't reach.
And he can do drama decently too. Yeah, Nathan Lane's great, and he's great in this, and it's a fun one. It's a witty, enchanting film about one of my favorite cinema families. So I was really happy she picked it because I haven't seen it in forever, so it was good.
Yay.
For what I watched last week, I saw a few that I wanted to mention, and there's some stuff coming out this weekend I look forward to discussing with you all next week. But Touch Me landed on Shudder, and that's what I was looking forward to. I ended up really enjoying that. It's kind of a sexually charged psychodrama with hints of hentai and some alien gooiness. The lead, Olivia Taylor-Dudley, is very good. There's Lou Taylor Pucci playing someone called Brian in this, and he looks very different from when I saw him in... He was in Evil Dead. He was in the Fede Alvarez Evil Dead. But yeah, he's very good in this. The whole cast are good. It's fun. It gets quite dark. It's an interesting one, and it takes familiar stuff, but kind of hides them under different dressing. I also really have to disparage and insult Citizen Vigilante, which is the latest film from Uwe Boll, and he's leaned right into some pretty disgusting and unpleasant far-right rhetoric and agendas. Armie Hammer is in the lead role here, and basically he is someone who decides to go out and harm and kill people that justice hasn't caught up with. All of these people seem to be immigrants to some unnamed country. I don't think it's specified in there. It's just like Europe is facing this wave of terror from immigrants. That's all you get. It's really horrible, and it ends with a caption that says, this is dedicated to all the victims of rape and murder who were let down by the justice system. I mean, that's maybe not exactly what it says, but I'm not far away paraphrasing that from memory, genuinely. So it's it's not a well-made film. It's not good. It's extremely unpleasant for that messaging. And Armie Hammer trying to now distance himself from it and claiming that he didn't realise how far it went is an absolute joke, because you do not take part in this film with the actions that he has to go through, and he does a couple of monologues. You don't do that without knowing about the film. I rewatched First Strike. I made some progress with my Jackie Chan box set, and First Strike is still fun. It's Jackie Chan doing a James Bond thing. I know it's marked as Police Story 4. It has never felt in line with the other, certainly not the first two Police Story movies. But if you want to maintain it as part of that series, you do you. But it's got a great snowy opening sequence. It feels very indebted to, I think it's The Spy Who Loved Me, with the classic snowy opening of Bond. It's got sharks, and it's got some oversized villainous henchmen who genuinely look at times like Goombas from the Bob Hoskins John Leguizamo Super Mario Brothers movie. I can't speak today. I don't know why. I'm going to blame the heat. I also watched Thunderbolt, which was a car movie with Jackie Chan in it. That's what I'll say. So I was hoping for plenty of car carnage and recklessness. There is some. It's strange that it didn't seem to go as far as I expected, but there's a great sequence in there with someone really swinging about a shipping container and using that to terrorise and smash up the environment. Pretty good. And then last but not least, I watched Driver's Ed. That was my Amazon Prime choice. It is directed by Bobby Farrelly. Bobby Farrelly has fallen some way from when he was at his best. This is a very standard teen comedy. A young lad thinks his girlfriend's breaking up with him. Now they're in a long-distance relationship, so he takes the driver's ed car. There are other teens in the car with him. They go on a road trip for him to meet up with his girlfriend/ex-girlfriend, and developments and connections ensue, basically. It's moderately diverting, but it's not really very funny. I don't think the character developments are that well handled, and the best bits tend to be smaller scenes that make time for, like, Kumail Nanjiani and Molly Shannon, who are both very good in this. And that is it for what I watched this week.
This week, we watched the 2002 American psychological thriller Swimfan and the 2025 South Korean mystery thriller The Ugly. Hey, Craig,
Yes.
would you like to pick a movie and tell us about it?
Sure, I'm going to go with Swimfan. And I'm going to apologise to my sweet, sweet baby Tyler. Now, get out of the
It's
way.
It's all
I've got to
right.
do a synopsis, haven't I? I'm going to take the one from IMDb because I'm lazy. A high school senior with a promising swimming career has a one-night stand with consequences. And yeah, that's Swimfan. I recall enjoying this one way back in 2000 and Tyler. What is it? 2002?
2002.
2002. Yeah. I'm just a big fan of this subgenre. I kind of love it, and it hadn't died out that long ago. It only died out, mid to late 90s. So it came back pretty quick, but I was kind of sad to see it go. And even though, like, when you think about it, this whole subgenre is the most wildly misogynistic shit. Just wildly misogynistic. Like a whole subgenre dedicated to women being emotionally unstable and possessive and dangerous towards men.
The
Women,
worst, most
dangerous
basic
men.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like every accusation is a confession. It was really kind of fucked up that these films are so popular. Like at best, those films are they're a chapter in the book. Why women are too emotional and shouldn't worry their pretty heads about stuff. But like at worst, and I might be getting a little tinfoil hat here. At worst, like male studio executives pushed a whole subgenre about how women are crazy and can't be trusted and will set you up for crimes that you definitely did not do. I don't know how tinfoil hat is, but I did say at worst. So, it horrendously misogynistic stuff. But I kind of just treat them like I do any other exploitation movie. I like Italian exploitation movies, so I've seen many misogynistic movies. So I dug The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, Mother's Boys, that's an underrated one, Single Right Female, The Crush, that whole subgenre of I find Michael Douglas curiously irresistible and he must be mine at all costs. How did that become a trend? I don't know. So, I was a
Money.
fan. Oh yeah. I was a fan, and when Swimfan came along, I hoped, being an avowed fan and, trashy misogynistic thrillers, I hoped it would bring something new to the table, and it doesn't bring anything new to the table. It takes things off the table. It takes a lot of stuff off the table. Like for me, this is very much the I Know What You Did Last Summer of the obsession thriller genre. And I know right now Tyler's going, yeah, what's wrong with that? I get it. But it's like, I know, like any like edge like this genre has been sanded like right the fuck down in favour of this kind of, glossy mall-core MTVification. And it just kind of, it exists purely to sell popcorn to Tyler Hosley, which I think is too niche a thing, but apparently it works. It's just, it did to these films what I Know You Did Last Summer did to slasher films, and I don't enjoy that. I don't enjoy that glossy MTV kind of vibe at this time in filmmaking, which I know Tyler loves, and I'm glad he has that, but. It just doesn't work for me. Like Jesse Bradford is fucking terrible, just horrendous. Like the performance is awful, and the character is a shitty human being who I do not care about, who can die as far as I'm concerned. Like, does he convince as a 24-year-old struggling to finish high school? Sure. Like I don't think I ever saw him fully close his mouth in this film. So yeah, I can see him at high school at 24, but otherwise, like. He doesn't convince in any fucking way. He is indescribably bland. Like I cannot. I feel like he would have been wheeled onto set on one of those things that you carry, like just, they bring you new fridge on when you order them online. He's a piece of wood. He's terrible actor, and he's the weakest part of just a weak film. I think it's dull. It is vapid as fuck. It's poorly made. Like the editing throughout this film is atrocious. Like what the hell is that like weirdly abrupt final scene for? The editing in that final scene is absolutely pitiful. The humor in this film is troubling. Like what is it? Hey, Scouts are coming next week. What? Girl Scouts? that Girl Scouts bit comes from like an 80-year-old man in a hospital talking about Girl Scouts. Like, what the fuck? The soundtrack is hellish. I know Tyler will not agree with me, but I thought it was a hellish soundtrack. I thought like it was just like the good pop punk and the good new metal of that era, but shitty like watered down versions. So it's kind of fits the film because the film is a kind of shitty watered down version. But the story and the character development are like paper fucking thin. Like I tried to think of ways it could have been salvaged. But like if you were to take this and just try and put a little bit more meat on the bones of the story, just a little bit, I think it would actually spoil one of the only elements of the film I actually enjoyed. Because I did enjoy like the almost parody level 0 to 100 of Madison's obsession. When she says, "So great to finally meet your mother," I cackled. I'll give him that. That line fucking landed. Like, this woman is out of her fucking mind. She is just instant fucking obsession. And, like, it helps that Erica Christensen is fucking great. She is really, really fucking good. She is so expressive and she is so game. She tries to bring the absurdity of her performance up to the same level as the absurdity of her writing. She sees that it's stupid and tries to be equally stupid with it, and she deserves so much more. She deserves a sentient co-star, some layered writing, like anything. But it's not there, and she can't keep the thing afloat on her own. She just can't do it. I like Clayne Crawford as well. I always like Clayne Crawford. He's turned into a really interesting actor, and I did cackle again when I saw his funeral portrait, and he still looked like a fucking douchebag on his funeral portrait. I really enjoyed that, but that's kind of it. I loved Erica Christensen. I like Clayne Crawford just going full on douchey with it, but it's just nothing else worked for me. It's not even bad enough to hate. It's nondescript, formulaic landfill horror. And I think it probably unfairly hobbled a promising career for Christensen, because between this and Traffic, it really looked like she was going places. And she's carved out a really solid TV career, which I'm glad for, because she's a fine actress. But I feel like she could have had a better career if this didn't if she wasn't in a film where everything around her was bad and she went down with the ship. It's a shame, but I'm not a fan of Swimfan. Sorry, T.
It's all right.
Yeah, that makes two of us. Fun fact: do you know who founded the financing company of this?
I do not.
Michael Douglas, his goddamn self. This was financed by Further Films, which he started with all his money doing thrillers.
He should have been the lead.
Right?
Michael Douglas should have been the 17-year-old high school student.
Yeah, they didn't do a lot of like that. They financed some weird ass films. If you look at the stuff they've done, and you go, "That's choices." Dan Hedaya's wasted. I love Dan Hedaya. No, he should not play a coach in anything. That tiny, not athletic man is. He's not going to be a swim coach anywhere ever. You couldn't find a man that can actually. Like, I don't believe Dan Hedaya can swim. I just don't. I think if you tossed him into the water, he would sink like a stone.
Nobody can sink with that much body hair, Dave. Jesus, that motherfucker gonna float.
Are you kidding me? You ever got into a pool with a... Okay, you live in Florida, so you don't own a sweater. But if you get into water with a sweater, you go down. It gets overloaded, man. It's not a life vest. It's the opposite. So that started me off on the bad foot. I do agree. Christensen does her best with what she's given. Generally, I don't mind girlfriend actress Shiri Appleby. Like, she's not great, but she's generally acceptable. I liked her in that Unreal TV show about reality TV a few years ago. And she's actually gone on to carve out a nice little niche directing television. She's a much better director than director of Swimfan John Polson. I'm just putting that out there because it's true. Anyway, it's not good. It's poorly made. It's poorly edited. I agree with Craig on the soundtrack. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking for this soundtrack. Like, I know what they were thinking. They were thinking, hey, we want the soundtrack like these other movies, but we don't have money. And it's just not good. I know T loves it because Pacifier is like, I think it's the first track on the album.
It is,
as I recall.
It is.
If I was to like make a list of bands I know Tyler secretly loves, he just hasn't told us about yet, I think it would be almost every band on that album.
It is.
I mean, so just putting that out there. It's just not good. It's the worst Fatal Attraction ripoff. And if you wanted us to watch a bad erotic thriller, there's like a few 100,000 old direct-to-video ones that are better. There's a few hundred theatrical release ones that are better. Craig, by the way, have you seen what the fuck is it called? I just brain farted. We Kill for Love?
No.
It is a documentary about direct-to-video erotic thriller films. You will love it. You will be all over it. It is a good one. You should mark it down. It is for you.
On the list.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything right. It doesn't do anything well, and it wastes Christensen. And she must be good because I'm saying something nice about a clam. And I never do that unless I have no choice. I have no choice. She tries so hard. This would be better if it was her and Appleby, and as the couple made it a little gay, and kept Jason Ritter as her buddy, and Clayton Crawford as the jealous bigot. Look, I fixed your movie. I fixed your movie in 30 seconds. What the fuck? 2002. What the fuck? Yeah, it's just there.
Every time we get Jesse Bradford, it's T forcing Jesse Bradford into our lives. What was the other film with him in?
Romeo and Juliet.
Awful.
Yep.
We haven't done Hackers yet. Did we do Hackers?
No, we have not done Hackers.
Did we do Bring It On?
There was an early one. I remember speaking about how much I hate him.
I didn't pick that Jesse Bradford. That was Stone that picked that Jesse Bradford.
Oh, okay, right. Okay. Yeah. But we've done. Did we do Clock Stoppers?
We have not done Clock Stoppers, but I really like that movie.
We might do Clock Stoppers in the near future because I accidentally reminded T it exists.
Yes, you did. I had it in my notes, but yes.
I mean, eventually we'll do Cherry Falls also. So
he wasn't in that very long, but yes.
Tragically, this is not the last. He still works occasionally, so that's how you know that there's no justice in this world.
He's still got a couple more sprays left on his his throat numbing device. So once that's empty, his career's over.
And his continued mission to get us to watch the entire filmography of Jesse Bradford, he comes along now with Swimfan, which as you get older and older just seems like more enjoyably ridiculous and kind of quaint in what it does, because this would be a very different film nowadays. I'm trying to think if there is something like Swimfan in more modern times. There probably is, and I apologise for going blank there because Swimfan was 2002. A lot has progressed quite quickly since then. So you're definitely going to get something. If not, then surely it's in the offing at the moment. Anyway, Bradford is good in the lead role, the sort of swim champ with the troubled past, and he's gone hopefully beyond that and is trying to do good, but much like other Fatal Attraction type tales, he does make at least one big mistake that endangers his entire future. Erica Christensen is good as Madison Bell. She's a very enjoyable. I don't even know if I want to say psycho. She is she is a movie psycho in this, a fun movie psycho. I would normally be wary of describing her in a certain way because we've had stories now where characters are more nuanced, and we've also looked back at different stories and movies from the past and realised how the context of the culture around them just paints them in a certain way. But I think Swimfan isn't really concerned with that kind of dialogue. It is wanting to put an entertaining teen psycho against some, hunky teen lead. That's what it's about, and it's fine for that. And Christensen just kind of, she eats up the role. She's fun. Her and Bradford both do really well in this, and Jason Ritter is in a supporting role, doesn't really make much of an impact. You get more impact from Dan Hedaya, who's the swim coach, and you get a strange and interesting turn from James DeBell, who I think most people will still remember as being the guy that, does he get his hand bitten in Cabin Fever? He's the kind of the big, almost jock type in Cabin Fever, and this is very much removed from that kind of role anyway, because I've seen him do that kind of role in other movies, but I haven't seen him do much in the same vein as this. Director John Paulson has done a lot of TV work since then, but when he did this, his next film was Hide and Seek, which, funnily enough, is a film I've been meaning to revisit for about 20 years. It was the glossy horror movie with Robert De Niro and Dakota Fanning in there. Famke Janssen also has a supporting role, so that's another reason for me to want to rewatch it. And I will. I'll get round to it eventually. I might even pick it for the podcast so that if it's a lot worse than I remember, I don't suffer alone. Swimfan is fun. It's disposable. It's quite ridiculous, but it's enjoyable enough when it's on. It doesn't make the coveted Kevin 7 slot, but it is, Craig will be pleased to hear, slightly worse than Ronin. I give it a slap bang average 5 out of 10. But yeah, we all knew that Tyler was going to enjoy this one and make us watch it at some point. I will only be surprised if we don't get another Jesse Bradford movie in the next year or two. Thanks, T.
Okay, so yes, I do know this is completely derivative of Fatal Attraction in almost every single way. It's the CW teen version of Fatal Attraction. But I do love this movie a lot. I'm not even joking when I say I've probably seen this over 50 times. I saw this in theaters back in 2002, twice. It became such a comfort movie for me over the years.
Real quick, how many
Yeah.
times have you seen the original Fatal Attraction before you go on? Just in comparison, is it half as much, a quarter as much? Have you seen the original Fatal Attraction at all?
Oh yeah, of course. Twice, maybe? Twice? 3 times, maybe? It's been a while, but yes, I've seen Fatal Attraction.
That actually, that sounds like that's exactly. If I was going to put money on it, that's what I would have said. Okay, just check.
I love erotic thrillers. I watch all that shit. You know that. This just became a comfort movie for me over the years. They used to play it on HBO a lot too. I must have watched this on HBO. That's probably where the 50 times came from, because I watched this on HBO so many times. But I don't know, this is the perfect era in cinema for me. A 2002 core aesthetic to the fucking max. I mean, this is truly some Tyler core shit, for real. I mean, I love the soundtrack here. I know I'm alone here, but I fucking love this soundtrack. You got Seven Dust and Saliva and Flaw and Pacifier. There's so many bands in this goddamn soundtrack that I love. And I still have the CD that I legit bought in 2002. Still sitting here on my shelf, and I like the cast. Look, Jesse Bradford is someone I've always liked. I mean, he was really good in Bring It On. He's fantastic in Speedway Junkie. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that movie, but it's really fucking good. Speedway Junkie is really good, and y'all should watch it if you haven't seen it. It'll change your mind on Jesse Bradford, I promise. And yeah, I like Clockstoppers
You
too. I haven't
can't
seen
keep
that.
that promise.
I can promise you that if you watch Speedway Junkie, you'll be like, yeah, Jesse Bradford is actually pretty good in this. He's really good in that movie. It's really fucking good. I promise.
Okay.
But yeah, I think Erica Christensen's really good here. I've always really liked her. She doesn't. I feel like she doesn't. Her career never took off the way it should have because she is really good. She's really good in that show. I think it was Parenthood. If I remember correctly, I think she was good in that. It's been a while, but I really like her. Traffic. Clayne Crawford. I mean, you guys know I've always liked him. I've always liked Clayne Crawford. It's funny. His character in this movie is almost identical to his character in the movie Walk to Remember. Like, even down to the clothes. He's the same douchebag character in both those fucking movies. It's like identical. You couldn't tell them two apart. But yeah, he's great. I've always really liked him. He's good at playing douchebags. That's like his thing. But it's quickly paced. It's really fucking short. This thing is barely 80 minutes. I would doubt this is 80 minutes, even with credits. This is probably like 75 minutes long. But it's a glossy teen thriller knockoff of Fatal Attraction. But I love glossy teen thrillers, so this is my jam, you guys. That pool, though, let me tell you something. That fucking pool, people come in it, people are fucking murdered in it, and they're like, nope, this shit ain't fucking closing, bro. Swim classes the next day. Fuck this. But no, it's just that made me laugh. I even thought about that like when I first saw this. I'm like, nope, they ain't closing this fucking pool. They're doing fucking college scouts right after someone had their head bashed in. So yeah, no one fucking cares. But yeah, I love Swimfan. Love it. I've seen it so many times and just it's endlessly entertaining for me. All right, so The Ugly is from 2025, right? It's fairly new. But a man discovers his missing daughter's remains after 40 years, determined to find the truth of her disappearance.
Daughter.
Oh, mother, sorry. Jesus Christ. Did I say daughter? I did say daughter, didn't I? Mother's remains, my bad. Determined to find the truth of her disappearance, he embarks on a harrowing journey to uncover his family's dark secrets. I don't know why I fucking said daughter, but I did say daughter. So I decided to just go into this completely blind. Didn't read a plot synopsis, didn't watch a trailer, so I had no idea what I was getting. So I was surprised that this whole movie is basically Your Mama's So Ugly, the movie. That's what this is. But in all seriousness, no, I really like this movie a lot. I like this better than Train to Busan. I'm gonna say it. I really do. I like that movie. Don't get me wrong, but I thought this was really good. I love the tone and the mood. It's bleak and pretty miserable, and I fucking love that shit. And I love that it's not afraid to tackle the message of beauty standards in Korean society or any society for that matter, and the way some men just treat women who don't live up to their fucking ridiculous standards of beauty. I mean, there's a certain bluntness to the way it handles its allegory, but I think it works so fucking well. It's incredibly well shot. The script is great. The cinematography is fucking stunning. This movie looks fantastic, guys. Like, it looks so good. Um, it's dialogue heavy and super slow paced, but I think perfectly so. Like, the pacing just goes with the tone so well. This is really well paced and just yeah, the mood in this movie is just so well done. The cast is really good. Yeah, I really like this one a lot. Like I said, I went into this totally blind and it just shocked the hell out of me. I think people should go into this blind because it's really fucking good. This was a really, really good pick, Dave. I enjoyed it a lot.
Dave gave us The Ugly this week, and I don't have the benefit of being in the company of other people and following their pronunciations, so I'm not going to. This is written and directed by Yeon Sang-ho, who apparently it's based on a graphic novel that they did. I'm not familiar with that. I don't know if Dave's familiar with the source material. If so, he will have mentioned that already. What I will say is this is a really interesting and enjoyable drama. It's basically about someone kind of looking through the past of their family, finding out more about their parents and coming to different conclusions at different times based on the information that they receive. The performances are good. I think it's pretty well handled throughout. But, and again, I'm sorry, I'm avoiding names, I'm avoiding pronunciations because I'm on my own here and I do not have the confidence to just dive in and commit to these things, so apologies. I'm speaking very general terms. The performances are very good, but what I will say about this film, which I enjoyed, is it is absolutely lifted up by the ending. I loved the ending of this, and I thought it kind of makes you want to immediately rewatch it because it sort of reframes everything, but there is a way in which the ending is also just a reflection of so much that has come before. So yeah, I'm actually keen to watch this again and study it and look at details and see how much is affected by what every other character is saying and doing in service to a preconception that has already been placed in the minds of the leads and of viewers watching this at home. So I'm trying not to give everything away entirely. I apologise for, really kind of making the ending the focus of my conversation on this one, but I think it is, it kind of is what the film is all about, and it doesn't actually feel like any major rug pull or big surprise, actually, but, it does immediately make you reconsider everything that has been said and done by everyone else in the film, and how they have wanted to present their own view of their shared and separate histories. I think it's really good. It's really it's confidently directed. Sang-ho doesn't rush things. Doesn't really go for the obvious moments that could have been drawn out and perhaps sensationalized or made more genre friendly for those looking for that kind of material. It's a well done dramatic tale, and that ending knocked my socks off. So nice one, Dave. Thank you.
This was not on my radar at all. I hadn't heard of it, but when Dave suggested it, I read the synopsis, and yeah, I was definitely like all in for this one because, well, as the husband of a K-pop and K-drama nerd, my wife absolutely loves that shit. I'm definitely aware of some of the more troubling aspects of South Korean culture, and as they present through music and TV and film, like the impossible beauty standards are just horrendous. Like I've seen some jaw-dropping before and after shots of like K-pop idols who have been through dozens of like record label mandated surgeries. I mean, they put this shit in their contracts and they sign their initial contracts like, yeah, this is what we're going to do to your face. It is horrendous, and that's just like one aspect of like a whole culture of shaming and bullying anyone who doesn't conform to these really strict standards, that dominate like all walks of life. Like there's an actor Lee Sun-kyun. I'm going to do some horrendous pronunciations, but Lee Sun-kyun was for star of Parasite and Sleep. He was falsely accused of smoking cannabis. That's all, and he killed himself. It's like South Korea it's an insanely pressurized society, insanely so, and I think The Ugly portrays that culture in all of its crushing horror. Like eventually, like the third act of this film is devastating. It's literally like an avalanche of pain because the revelations regarding this story specifically are heartbreaking, but uh, Yeon Sang-ho he's really made sure to highlight that it's not an isolated case, and it's not something that occurs in a vacuum. It is representative of so many other victims of this toxic culture, and like the weight of that just kind of follows in the wake of this one story. There's so much attached to it. It's such a heavy fucking thing, and that third act just fucking devastated me. And it's all beautifully acted as well. Like the first two acts, I think, of this film, the script is very tightly focused on the narrative and the accompanying themes, and they don't really leave. It doesn't really leave much room for much else, you know. So any characterization is almost like 100% performance based. Like it's on the backs of the cast, and the cast absolutely deliver. Fortunately, they are really, really fucking good. Here we go again. Kwan Hae Hyo and Park Jeon Min are wonderful, especially doing that big, you know, the climactic conversation, that big showdown at the end. Shin Hyun Bin is excellent. Like the physicality of her performance is outstanding. Han Jin Hyun as the TV producer who kind of manipulates her way into the story. She was like low key my favorite performance. It's just a really fun performance because she's very deliberately adorable in a way that gets her access to people and allows her to get away with being kind of fairly amoral and cutthroat. But also, she kind of becomes the film's ethical backbone as the story progresses. Basically, only because she's one of the only, you know, she's the female lead, so of course she becomes the ethical background of the story. It's a handsome-looking movie, like great sets, really great lighting, really beautifully lit. Some gorgeous little tracking shots as well, because obviously they hide one character's face for the majority of the film's running time, so it gives you lots of like gorgeous little tracking shots where they're following her around. Great score. There's some brutal little bits of dark humor in there. My issues, which aren't massive by like any means, they seem quite minor, but and I think I've alluded to this before. Like it's the first two acts. I have some issues with the first two acts. They can feel a little formulaic. As I said, they're a little too tightly focused on story rather than character, and like the unfolding of the story is a little contrived and a little clumsy, I think, in those first two thirds. Like they set up the third act perfectly. They do their job, but it sometimes it feels like they are doing a job, you know. It feels a little bit like, you know, laborious. But, you know, that aside, it's the ugly is an emotionally resonant and effective satire. Like as a species, we are not as sophisticated as we think we are. You know, not even Tyler. Like, we've got to stop setting impossible or improbable standards for ourselves because, you know, it just leads to disappointment and resentment, and those things, you know, inevitably lead on to cruelty, which is a point the ugly makes in a very, very strong way. And it's just it's a bit of a little gem. Like I don't think the first two acts come up to the standard of a third act, but it's well acted, it's well made, and you know it resonated. You know, so yeah, it's a good pick, Dave. I enjoyed this one a lot.
Yeah, this is one of those ones that I'd heard about before it hit, and then I promptly forgot about it until I just randomly saw a trailer online. I went, "Oh, yeah, that'd be pretty good." I mean, most folks when they talk about Yeon Sang-ho, they just talk about Train to Busan, which is good. But if you guys think back many years, he did direct one of my favorite South Korean films, which I've actually made you guys watch already. Psychokinesis, the one about the absentee dad who gets superpowers.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely fantastic one. That was his second film, and this is in line with that, where it's about awful people who have in one they step up, and in the other one they're equally awful. Yeah, I think this was really well done. The flashbacks are excellent. Shin Hun Bin does a great performance, especially because you're not allowed to see her face throughout. Well, 99% of the film, um, and she still does a great job emoting and selling her role. It's a thankless job, honestly, because everybody is atrocious. It's well shot, it's well edited. I agree. It is a little clumsy. The ending's a little obvious, but I don't think that's the important part for this one. They're making some very, very pointed social commentary. And one thing I've learned from watching a fair amount of Korean stuff myself is subtle is not the way to go for some audiences. And there's a lot in that audience that definitely need to be bludgeoned with your point. And it does that. But I also think it does what it does really well. There's two versions of almost every character. There's an old one and 40 years ago, and those are all well acted. You don't watch one and go like, "There's no way those two are the same guy." The guy that plays
Does
the
the
young version,
son play the dad in the flashbacks?
yes, he does.
Yeah.
Park Jung Min plays the son and the dad in the flashbacks. He's also in Deliver Us from Evil, which I think I remember enjoying. That's the only one I can think of off the top of my head. He's in a few things. He's generally decent, but he's really good in this as the young dad. The son is kind of a thankless role. He's not much of a character. He's just there to hear other people confess things and to make the final decision at the end. I wish they'd given us a little bit more with him as a character, but they made this movie for nothing, and they did a lot of hastily built sets to make it look the way they want instead of location filming. Like, every choice is very deliberate and done as well as I think it could possibly be. I think this is exactly the film they wanted to make. And even if I can nitpick the narrative, I think it does what it sets out to do very, very well. It is a movie that's kind of made me lose faith in the rest of humanity, because I decided to read what some other people said after watching it, because I thought it was an incredibly impressive film that stuck its landing and did exactly what it set out to do. And the amount of stupidity from people not understanding what this movie is about kind of depressed me to no end.
There was a lot of negative on Letterboxd for this after I watched it. I was shocked at how many negative, like calling it misogynistic. I'm like, did you not
Yeah.
watch this
No.
movie? Like, what the fuck?
And it's not just them. There were professional critics that didn't get it. I'm not going to name names, but one who publishes under the name of a very well respected late critic didn't seem to get it at all. So there's a lot that didn't seem to get it. And me, I hate the phrase "you don't get it," but it feels like here and in Korea, this did not land with people for reasons that I don't quite understand. Like, are we so trained that we take everything at face value? Because like the number of times I saw people say, when we finally saw her face, it made no sense. It kind of made me go, really? And I saw a few hundred people say that on various sites, because I went down a rabbit hole and all it did was make me lose faith in humanity.
Well,
We
there are
are
a lot
illiterate.
there are a lot of unreliable narrators in the film.
Yep. Everybody's an unreliable, except for maybe the creepy boss. The creepy boss and the seamstress. Almost everybody's an unreliable narrator. Everybody has their own view on things. They straight up set up that they see her the way they see her because they don't want to deal with actuality, and it's been a thing in her whole life. Her big sin wasn't her face, it was the fact that she cared about the truth more than the lies people tell themselves. And that's why I thought it was fascinating. I think it's a technical achievement, and as a narrative device, this is excellent. And again, it just made me lose all faith in humanity, though. Reading how some people saw this, I'm exasperated after reading all that the other day. We are in a truly illiterate society. It's very, very, very saddening. Anyway, it's time to pick one. And for me, without any doubt, it's The Ugly. You should go look it up.
Yeah, it'd be ugly for me too.
Look, I love Swimfan, and it's, like I said, it's Tyler Core to the max, but I am going to go with The Ugly as well.
Holy shit.
Yay!
Wow. I think this
I'll
is the
give it
first
to
time.
I'll give it to the new one because people need to watch The Ugly. Swimfan has been around for many, many years, so I'm sure most people have seen it. So
Go see The Ugly. It is out there to rent in all the main places. It's not streaming free anywhere at the moment, but you can also find it other places. I think it's worth your time if you're willing to go on the ride. And maybe that's the problem. Maybe folks just don't go on the ride anymore, to the point that they can't engage. Might explain a lot of things I've read in the last year or so. Anyway, next week it's Kevin and Craig picking. You have Kevin's pick, right, Craig?
I do. Kevin has gone with the 2015 Dark Fantasy Tale of Tales. And I have gone with Richard Fleischer's 1950 crime noir Armored Car Robbery.
Wow. You went just totally different places.
We definitely did.
yes, he did.
I do always like that. Like this week, we both ended up in thrillers without, any discussion leading up to it. But I like how completely opposite that's going to be. T, would you mind giving them the business?
I would love to.
Oh, before you do, I do want to thank John for last week.
Yeah, that was really good. That was really, really good. John, we thank you. We thank you. We're on Instagram, Raiders_the_podcast. We're on Facebook, where I sometimes remember to post stuff on Wednesdays. Very seldom have I been doing it in the past month, but hey, I will remember again. We have a YouTube channel where you can like, subscribe, and comment and watch Kevin's awesome videos, sometimes weekly, sometimes bi-weekly. We have a Discord, we have a Blue Sky, and you can always email us at raidersofthepodcast@gmail.com.
As always, thanks for listening. Thanks for joining me, guys. Seriously, go look up The Ugly, and I'll talk to you next week.
Catch you next week.
See you.
What the hell was that?